Hello everybody, my Leasure 17 rudder repair. The rudder was totally naff. The mooring line has gone up in between the skeg and the rudder, taking the skeg fix in with it, and then it had run up through the middle of the rudder itself, splitting the rudder apart on the prop. So anyway, I took it off, took loads of pictures of the skeg, because I got to travel 100 miles now to do the repair and make it so it'll go back on. So anyway, I took loads of pictures, loads of measurements, and I come home. There it is now. Let's get the rudder, as I say, was split in two on the shaft. So I had to get home and figure it all out. There's where I had to cut the rudder off, because we couldn't take it off, we had to cut it off. So that bit of the boat has got to be cut further down eventually, which it is now, for the new rudder fitting to go on. Anyway, I eventually got back home, and I was a bit worried whether I was going to be able to do it or not, but once I got home I clamped the thing together. I put a new front on, and there it is clamped together. I then turned it upside down, and a bit where it's out away where it lands, because it's bird's kill, I now put tape all the way around that to build it up to the height of the bottom of the rudder. I then covered all the edge of that tape with Vaseline. There's the Vaseline. And then I mixed up epoxy, 25-year-old epoxy, and tipped in there along with cloth. I just mixed it anyhow. How many egg cup falls into one of those? Anyway, I tipped it in and allowed it to set, and you can see it there. Next day set. The next job was now putting up the stainless steel plates on the outside to reinforce it. There they are on there. Thank God I found a few cobalt drills that would drill the stainless easy enough. And I put another bit on the bottom of the skeg, the bottom of the rudder, as you can see. Okay, now I've got to make the new tiller. It's got to go on the top of the tube that the rudder's on, and it's stainless, it's hard to work. You can see it there. Now I've got to try and bend it. My gas bottle is now packed up on me, so what I had to do was put little slits in it with a welder to make it weak points so as I could fold it round. This bit now that actually got to go back up through the shaft was tight, so I had to sand it down. It took ages by hand, because that too is stainless. But there's the other bit now. I put the bolts on. I think a few of those pictures there, like you can see me putting the front plate on. Now I've got to grind it and bend that up around it. You'll see how it forms in a minute. But like I was saying, the gas bottle was naff. There's what's going to eventually be the tiller top, and there it is on the rudder. Just wants bending round now. There's the rudder with the two stainless steel plates holding it and clamping it. Now I'm putting the cuts in with the grinder, so as when I bend those two plates, it will bend square and not in a big bend. And then after, like I say, my gas bottle is packed up. After I'd bent them, the cuts where they are, I've got the stainless steel welding rods there, and there you'll see I've resealed the cuts that I've done with CO2 welding stick. My welding's not the best, but it's plenty good enough for this job. Anyway, there's two bolts put through to make sure they're in place still. And now we've got that's the top of what would be the top of the tiller. It don't look very good, so it needs tidying up. So I think at this point I'm showing you I've cut the top of the excess tube off. There it is, in line with the rudder. Now it's the right way round. You notice on that first picture I put the tiller head on the wrong way round. Now there's the bit I bent, and that's where the tiller arm will go in. Now this top is the bit I put on the top to weld it off so that it look tidy, and there it is, you can see it tidy. So all that's left to do now is put that back up in the boat, put a new tiller arm in through there, and sort it out. Thank God when I got done the boat, my mate had a tiller arm off of another boat that went straight on mine. Well, I cut it and altered it, but it was a big one, so it went straight on, and now my tiller's done on my boat and we've actually been out sailing. Now this bit is the bit that goes on the bottom of the rudder, on the bottom of the skeg, and the rudder sits in that bit there. Seeing as I couldn't drill holes that big, I cut it short, there it is now, and I welded stainless steel washers on the end to receive the rudder. You can see it now fitted on the rudder. That little block of wood there is replacing where the skeg would be sat. But there it is. The first job I had to do mine was straighten that rudder pole out because it was bent the high out. That must have took me 3/4 an hour to get perfectly straight. But as I say, I've now been to sea and it all works. And I think I've got some video I'll put on a later date. There's the new tiller, and as you can see it's cut down below the top of the boat. Anyway, thanks for watching. 100 mile away, but I got it done. I took it back down and I'm now happy. Thanks for watching. Petethewrist out. There's my baby, waiting for me to go back down and take her sailing next week. Goodbye everybody.